So Minister, what happened?
Well, I was happy that I could bring all parties to the table because I always felt that if we're able to sit and reason it out, we can come to a point where we have an understanding. You know, I've always seen myself as a bridge over troubled waters. And so my role over the last few days have been to try to bring everyone together to resolve this controversy or this misunderstanding. And so I first had, you have to recognize that all types make up this world. And morality is not just about Christianity, but morality also has to do with those who are not considered Christians and them having they serve a purpose in that they can take a message to their audience that maybe the church would not be effectively able to do effectively. And so I think today we're in a win-win situation. Numbers were exchanged, arrangements are being made for further discussions and communication. As the Minister of Entertainment and Culture, I have responsibility for the entertainment sector, but I also have oversight for religious matters and faith-based school. So here I was being able to bring them all together. And I'm happy these young people, these students, doing the right things. So on this occasion, the second meeting, I was able to bring the section of the church that was objecting to her tour, as well as Bishop Bengucci, head of the Jamaica Council of Churches, and Bishop Harold Blair Jr., and members from the media in terms of, not for coverage, but DJ Sparks, Clyde McKenzie, who is a commentator and a columnist, and as well as my technical team. And it was a meeting that I think that we have achieved what we wanted to achieve. Better communication, better understanding, more tolerance. You can't write off people, no matter who it is. And, you know, to continue to send that message to the people, to the population. Grace has a responsibility. Although she's an entertainer who does adult entertainment, she also has a responsibility to take positive messages to young people and to use her popularity as a medium through which to communicate with them effectively about things that they shouldn't do or things that they should do. And I have every confidence that her message is positive. And anybody who is not sure about it, just go to one of the tours and you will hear that she is saying to the young people, you can say no. You can say no. And I just know that all of this will work out well. As Bob Marley would say, we are now at the beginning of Reggae Month. Everything is going to be all right. And to contribute to other schools taking a positive message, right? Yes, Spice is a raunchy entertainer, and in this society, you have different publics. You have adult entertainment, and you have entertainment that's appropriate for various groups, even films. And so, her tour being condemned by a segment of the church was a little unfair because they did not understand that when she goes in the school, she'd be dressed appropriately. Her message would be one that speaks to these young people, these students, doing the right things. So on this
decision, I want to see Jamaicans moving forward, and that's all possible when we stand together.
Would you support education for unbiased spice?
I certainly, and let me say it because I know the church may not like when I say it, but if she's carrying the message she showed us today, which says to young people, which has been my message, you don't need to be out there getting pregnant and you can't pay the bills and the guy's not going to be there in a year, you know. That's a very strong and a very important message, and I'd love to see her saying
Okay, first of all, just identify yourself for the records, please.
Oh, I'm Christine Bundengishe, and I'm the president of Jamaica Council of Churches, and a member of the umbrella group of churches.
What was decided here today?
I believe, first of all, what came out of the discussion for me was the fact that the Minister of Education asked us to look at the whole point of considering, you know, the position in relation to our young people in terms of the values and where we were exactly with them, and recognizing that perhaps, at least for me, based on the fact of how this entire thing was approached, that perhaps if it had taken a different turn in terms of the engagement of the ministry and other bodies, then perhaps we could have gone in and they are a person to be valued. And this, I believe, if perhaps we were aware of the kinds of things that she really wanted to share, it would have made a difference. But you have to understand that for the church, we are coming from a place where we are vanguards of the nation, the borders, protecting our children and the values and what it has gone to, you know, the degradation. And so for us, I guess immediately when you heard that she was going to do something, knowing the kinds of things that have been out there, it would have been immediately the kind of note of condemnation perhaps and judgment. But having listened to her and where she's coming from and what she has actually started to share, we recognize that she has the heart of the children. And so we want as a church to be able to embrace her, to love her, to let her know that God loves her, and that even as she shares a positive message, that there is a place for us in grace.
What do you want to see happen next in terms of how people get into the schools to talk to the students? What social rules or social programs do you want to see established to deal with those issues?
I believe that this has happened and brought us to a place for such a time as this, using the experience of Spice Grace in this particular situation, that all those who are engaged in the entertainment industry, it's not just her, but all of them, for us to sit together and to recognize that all of us together to influence Jamaican, our present generation and generations to come for the better. For the better, not for the worse, but for the better, for them to value themselves, for them to see self-worth, and to let them, most of all, that they were created in the image and likeness of God, and most of all, God loves.
Have to understand that some of these issues are secular and they will not yield themselves to religious solutions. That's very important. And it doesn't matter whether you are a religious person or not. One will have to understand that sometimes not all moral issues are of a religious nature. And therefore, we must understand when people are trying sometimes to do something awesome. They might not be Christians, but if they're doing good, we should encourage them. Thank you so much.
And also for faith-based school, I will have to continue working with the church as well as working with the Ministry of Education and the entertainment sector to make sure that there is this collaboration, specifically in relation to Spice, or I should say Grace Hamilton, that I am looking forward to her tour being resumed, because the students look forward to it, and she has a very positive message conveying to them. And her music is popular, yes, and she's a popular personality, and there is no better way of communicating to young people the positive messages, but through a popular medium. And so that is what we're going to be doing. I mean, Grace's religious beliefs, those are her personal beliefs. And everybody is